Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Anybody that goes into an outdoor pool or indoor pool should be able to ask the operator or manager on site, hey, can you show me your pool results?
Fargo health officials tell us they've closed more than 200 pools last year, and so far this year, they've shut down more than a dozen, saying the pools were not up to standard for the public. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero tells us which pools you should avoid this summer and which ones are safe.
The time of year when children and adults put on their bathing suits is upon us. Jamie Olson of West Fargo Park District is busy prepping for the season.
I think it's the cleanest place you could go. I honestly do.
Olson says with COVID-19, steps have been taken at Veterans Memorial Pool to promote social distancing while still making it a fun environment.
We do not have the public bathrooms open. We only have one set of family bathrooms open on each side. We have showers on the deck, so as soon as you come in, you pay your fee, you come in, you take a shower, you can use our facility.
We looked over more than 3 dozen Cass County inspections of pools. There were pools that passed with flying colors like Veterans Memorial, but then you had your problem ones. The pool at Quality Suites was cited for several issues. Eventually it was closed. I spoke to the owner of the hotel behind me. He says he had to close due to not getting enough business because of COVID-19. He hopes to reopen the hotel and the pool in the next few months. Hawthorne Suites was also closed by Fargo Cass Public Health back in November and remains that way.
They had structural, mechanical, or hard fixes they need to fix.
Grant Larson of Fargo Cass says on June 16th, inspectors closed the pool and spa at the Doubletree and the spa at Homewood Suites. Both are in West Fargo and since reopened.
We went out and tested the pools on site, and during that on-site test, they did not meet our water quality standards, and so we had them shut down.
Last year, his agency closed 282 pools. This year, from January to February, was 39. They stopped because of COVID-19. And since June 9th, 36 pools were closed. In Fargo, Joshua Pagero, Valley News Live.
Pool inspection reports are supposed to be made available at any outdoor or indoor pool that you visit, so you can ask the manager for the report. Fargo Cass Public Health tests the water quality of pools at least twice a month. Before a closed pool can reopen, they need to be retested. A former Fargo police officer will not be charged after an internal investigation stated he may have been carrying a beer and shouting profanities about police during the May 30th riots. Former Deputy Chief Todd Osmundson resigned earlier this month after he was suspended for a week. Officials say Osmundson went undercover on May 30th without receiving permission from the Fargo Police Department. Osmundson admitted in the report to carrying a beer can and shouting profanities. Police Chief David Todd said Osmundson's actions don't warrant further criminal investigation, and the matter is closed. The Cass County Sheriff's Office is now identifying the suspect and victim from an assault in Horace. Officials say 25-year-old Jordan Riker Pendleton was arrested for aggravated assault and 2 counts of simple assault. Deputies say the victim in this case is 31-year-old Marlon Klatt. Klatt is currently at a local hospital, and his medical condition is not being released at this time. We've got a couple stormy days ahead this week. We'll find out about those a little later. But first, how about this evening? Here's Hutch with your first alert forecasts. Hey, Hutch.
Hey, quite a range of temperatures as we head into the evening across our area. Look at the sizzle out to the west where we have 90s in the central Dakotas. Fargo just climbing into the 80s here recently, and it's hot. It's muggy for many. We have 70s to the east in central Minnesota. There is a heat advisory for our western counties in the James River Valley. This extends from the New Rockford and Carrington areas straight down towards Ellendale, where we could have heat indices and do have heat indices in the triple digits. A few thunderstorms possible in our easternmost counties. Look at some development in southeasternmost Otter Tail County. You'll have a chance at some showers and storms, and that's what they look like from a distance. We'll stay in the 80s here until sunset in Fargo. It looks quiet with that southeast breeze and muggy, but still, well, not too bad. So we take a look at Grand Forks tonight. Even hotter, temperatures in the 80s all the way until about 10 o'clock. Now, as we go through the overnight hours, we could have a few storms, but the main event for tomorrow happens in the afternoon and evening. I'll let you know about our first alert weather day for Tuesday here in a moment.
All right, thanks, Hutch. One man is now facing charges after backing his truck into a garage and driving off. West Fargo police officers were seen searching through a pickup this morning as they shut down 32nd Avenue South and 51st Street South near Eventide. An officer was seen inside the vehicle before driving it a few feet away from the intersection. Officials say 37-year-old Toby Keith faces charges for driving under suspension and criminal mischief. A family is mourning the loss of 3-year-old Hank Engel of Frazee after he died in a crash over the weekend in Becker County. It happened Saturday afternoon in Evergreen Township. 34-year-old Christopher Engel of Frazee was driving a pickup on a county road when it hit an SUV and rolled in a ditch. 2 people in his pickup were airlifted to Fargo. 2 others were taken to the Detroit Lakes Hospital. There's no word on their condition at this time. A GoFundMe has been set up to help pay for funeral expenses and medical bills. You can find that on the VNL News app. The latest CBS News poll finds Republicans are less likely to wear a mask in public than Democrats. President Donald Trump hasn't been wearing one, even while his coronavirus task force is recommending it. In fact, nearly all health officials recommend wearing a mask in public. Ed O'Keefe reports on the mixed messages coming from America's leaders.
If your local officials, in consultation with the state, are directing you to wear a mask, we encourage everyone to wear a mask.
Despite Vice President Pence showing support for masks on Sunday, in an interview taped Saturday with Face the Nation, he said that he and President Trump believe it's up to local officials to set the rules.
We've made it clear that we want to defer to governors, we want to defer to local officials.
The patchwork of decisions made by state officials has stretched beyond masks to testing and reopening, and it's leading to mixed outcomes.
If I could go back and redo anything, it probably would have been to slow down the opening of bars.
We used science, and we wouldn't open any region unless they hit certain metrics.
Science shows when people wear masks, the virus doesn't transmit as easily. But across the country, there's confusion as mayors, county leaders, and governors all set different examples. In New Jersey, where masks are required in most public places, Democratic Governor Phil Murphy publicly shames constituents on how to wear one. But in Arkansas, Republican Governor Asa Hutchinson says a statewide mandate would be difficult.
We're not going to pass a mandate that is unenforceable.
From the beginning of the pandemic, Mr. Trump has shunned masks.
No, I just don't want to wear one myself.
But Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden regularly appears in public wearing a mask and says he'd make it a national standard.
One thing we do know, these masks make a gigantic difference.
The mixed messages are causing angry confrontations nationwide, like at this California supermarket on Friday, where a woman refused to wear one, saying she had breathing problems. Dr. William Schaffner is a professor of infectious diseases.
This virus knows no political affiliation. It will infect you whether you're blue, red, or green.
Ed O'Keefe, CBS News, Washington.
Vice President Pence has canceled campaign events scheduled for this week in Arizona and Florida because of what the Trump campaign says is an abundance of caution. But he still plans to travel to those states to meet with their Republican governors. The Biden campaign says it will not be holding any large-scale rallies until the CDC says it is safe for large public gatherings. State health officials are confirming 47 more COVID-19 cases across the state of North Dakota. Officials say this brings the active case count in the state to 297. 26 of the new cases are in Cass County. 25 people are currently in the hospital with the virus. The death toll remains at 79. Over 3,100 people are listed as recovered. In Minnesota, the state health department is reporting 315 new COVID-19 cases, along with 10 more deaths in the state. Officials say this brings the death toll in Minnesota to 1,435. Of those deaths, 1,129 happened in a nursing home or long-term care facility. 278 people are in the hospital with the virus, and 140 of them are in the ICU. Over 31,000 Minnesotans are listed as recovered from coronavirus. One House Democrat wonders where President Trump's outrage is after he claimed he wasn't informed about intelligence that Russia may have paid bounties to the Taliban to kill U.S. soldiers in Afghanistan. Congresswoman Catherine Clark calls the president's reaction an example of what she calls Vladimir Putin's unusual hold over the president. And she wonders why President Trump isn't demanding why he wasn't thoroughly briefed on the intelligence.
The president is saying that he did not know of this. But where is the outrage from him that he didn't know about this? Where is his questioning and demands for information if we take this at face value?
President Trump has no public events on his schedule today and hasn't spoken in public about the bounty reporting. Minnesota State University Moorhead is announcing a new policy which states the school will no longer require ACT or SAT test scores for admission. This change is part of a national trend to allow more equitable access to higher education. The change started this spring for fall 2020 applicants. The modified requirement will continue for spring and fall 2021 applicants and beyond. Kids of all ages in our community need help now more than ever before. With the Golden Drive Homeless Kids, you can help them. 100% of your donations will stay in the FM area. You can donate various items such as hygiene, baby supplies, and non-perishable food to the West Fargo Fire Department tomorrow through July 16th. Again, all proceeds help children right here in our area. And we want to let you know that anyone in the Grand Forks area trying to watch either our CW or Heroes and Icons channel will not be able to. We're currently dealing with a hardware issue and we're working hard to get it back up and running. Depending on where you are, the CBS channel might be causing some issues too. We hope to get all of this fixed as quickly as possible. Still ahead tonight, more controversy over President Trump's weekend tweets and a peaceful protest near the White House several weeks ago.
And we have declared Tuesday and Wednesday first alert weather days. I'll have the latest on that. We have a few thunder showers this evening, rumbling and developing to the east. Your forecast is next.